Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support on the first video. I genuinely appreciate it. In that video, I mentioned about how I'll be telling you guys how I got an internship at KPMG, and since then and after then, I've gotten a lot of requests on that exact video. So, without further ado, here is how to get an internship at KPMG Nigeria. Application to KPMG is divided into 4 steps, and all the steps remain the same no matter the division you're applying to. The first step is the actual application that opens in January, and every other step is basically the same no matter the division you're applying to. So in the first step, they just want to know basic info about you: your CV, your name, your school, your age, and every other basic info. They are doing this to check that you meet the minimum requirements. So when you submit your application, a member from the KPMG team, like their HR or someone else, would analyze your application just to ensure you meet minimum requirements. The minimum requirements I will talk about at the end of this video. So the next stage is the essay stage. About 2 or 3 weeks after submitting your application, a member of the KPMG staff would get back to you with an email indicating that you have to write an essay. In my year, I was given 1 hour to write 2 essays using a platform that checks your screen and your camera to ensure that you are not cheating. The first essay is a basic tell me about yourself. They want to know about who you are, what are your goals, what are your interests, and why you're applying to KPMG. For that, it's very easy to prepare for. Just memorize your answer before time. The second essay was a bit different. In my year, I was told to write a 400-word essay on the tax reform policy in Nigeria, and I was astonished because I had no idea what to do. I'm applying to tech advisory for KPMG and I'm being told to write on the tax reform policy. The good thing is I had a conversation with my dad recently about that exact policy and why it's being done. So I was able to write some things based on what I had in my head. Now keep in mind that the essays vary per people. Some of my other classmates who applied got a different essay that I can't quite remember right now. But my advice going into this is read up on the current situation of the world. We know that earlier this year the tax reform policy was something that was debated heavily amongst Nigerians, which is where KPMG must have gotten the information from. So when you're applying, ask yourself what is going on in the Nigerian economy right now that KPMG will be involved in, and then try and read up on that, because there's a high chance that your essay will come from there. Moving on to step 3. If you are successful with the essay stage, a few weeks later, a member of KPMG staff is going to get back to you requesting for quite a lot of documents. The first is an up-to-date curriculum vitae indicating current CGPA and class of degree, an official transcript from the university up to your current level of study, a letter of recommendation from your course advisor, head lecturer, or professor on the department's letterhead, birth certificates, WAEC certificates, valid form of identification such as your NIN, your passport, or your driver's license, and evidence that you'll be available for the internship for a minimum duration of 3 months, which is the same as a letter of introduction from your careers unit. Something to keep note of is that for your official transcript, in case you're not able to get an official transcript by the time the submission is required, you can submit an unofficial one, and a member of the KPMG staff would email you a few days later asking for the official one. Which means that when you submit the unofficial transcript, you should begin the process for the official one so you can submit it when he needs it. You would also need to submit an attached application form that KPMG would send to you along with this email. The application form requests certain information such as major school, leisure, and sporting activities, what are your interests, outline briefly the reasons for seeking this opportunity with KPMG, your future career goals, and other things about you, what division you want to intern in, and other things. So my advice is to start preparing all of these documents before you even get the email. The moment you're done with your essay, in expectation of getting the email, start preparing everything. What I did was I created a document called KPMG and I put everything inside. My CV, my WAEC, and every other thing I listed, I put it in that document. So when it was time to finally submit, when I had everything compiled, I just copied and pasted everything into one email and then submitted it to KPMG. So one random day in school, I was studying and then suddenly I got an unknown number. I picked up the call and it was from a member of KPMG inviting me for step 4, which is the interview stage, which was scheduled to hold a week after the call. The dress code was corporate, and I searched online and I found out that the questions were going to be mostly behavioral. So I spent a lot of time preparing, learning more about myself, writing down the things I've done in PAU and all my accomplishments and other tasks I've done. Then came the actual interview day. It lasted for about an hour, and then afterwards, all you need to do is wait for your final result. So you either get a rejection letter or an acceptance letter into KPMG. So hopefully at this point you've been accepted. But before you start your internship, there are 6 major things to keep note of. Number 1, you don't need to have a working laptop. KPMG and other Big 4 provide working laptops for you, mainly because of security reasons. Number 2, you need to be on a 2nd class upper by the time the internship is starting. KPMG's policy is that all members of the firm must be at least a 2nd class upper, which on a 5-point scale is 3.5 upward. Number 3, the internship is 2 days remote and 3 days on-site. So Mondays and Fridays you work from home, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays you work on site. Number 4, the dress code is corporate, strictly corporate. Number 5, there is no age requirement, so you can enter at any age. I'm pretty sure one of my co-workers was 16 years old for the internship. And number 6, you don't need to be on a compulsory internship. The internship is open to everyone, whether compulsory or not compulsory. There was someone that entered from PAU as well, who was doing it at 200 level. And PAU's policy that compulsory internship starts from 300 level for non-computer science and science courses. And then finally, this was one that actually affected me. KPMG has a strict internship timeline of exactly 3 months, which means their internship period starts on a particular date and ends on a particular date. What this means for you is that if your internship is meant to start prior to KPMG's internship date, you have to find a different firm to work before that period. So for example, let's say KPMG's internship period for the year is from July 8th to September 5th. I think that's about 3 months. If your internship is meant to start prior to that time, it doesn't work. KPMG's internship period is very strict, so they only allow interns in the firm in the exact time. So for me, KPMG gave me an internship period that was meant to start 3 weeks before school had closed, which means I couldn't resume. So I resumed 3 weeks after the internship had started officially for the firm, and this meant that I only did 9 weeks at KPMG and I had to do my 3 weeks somewhere else. So learn when KPMG's internship period is going to be for the next year. But KPMG only offers a 6-week internship, a 9-week internship, and a 12-week internship. So if your internship period doesn't align in any of those periods, you're only going to be able to get 6 weeks, 9 weeks, or 12 weeks. But keep in mind that KPMG would often offer you the 12 weeks and you're the one that has to tell them that you're not available for this period, and then they might decide to offer you 9 weeks or 6 weeks depending on their schedule. So for the actual internship, it was quite fun, I would say. The first week was onboarding. I was in the office for 3 days, the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I got general information on everything KPMG, from their policies to their elevators to every single thing you need to know. And during this week, I also received free lunch, so it was quite nice. In the second week, I got my work laptop, and in the third week, I began my internship officially. During my time, I worked on about 4 engagements, which I would say taught me a lot about how Big Fours and life at consulting works in general. They also have a lot of activities. In my time, there was the health week that was going on, so I got like a massage and free smoothies and other things. It's fun, it's engaging, it's eye-opening. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and good luck on your applications.